Hello and welcome back. On the last episode, everyone panicked, and now only 4 of us are actually sticking to the plan. One of those 4 is the traitor, so the other 4 who are still alive, who are not mentioned 4, basically are just showing how irrational they can be. So far we found Pig, one of the 4 who did not stick to the plan, and we have questioned them. Basically, Mouse is letting them go when I think we should continue to make sure to stick with them, basically, and make sure they're actually going to do as they say. But I guess without further ado, I guess we have to start. Yeah, do that. I still don't know why you do something like that, though. I was scared. You are an idiot. So, look, I was just talking with Snake, and he was saying all these big things about how bad things were, and about how someone could betray us. So what? You're saying Snake made you do it? No, I'm trying to not trying to blame someone else. I'm trying to explain myself. See, after that conversation, I started worrying about how the ambitious player might be able to start rushing ahead of us. And I thought that if I got closer to the finish line, maybe that would help. That doesn't make sense. I don't know, like giving them competition or something. Spare me the nonsense. You wanted the option to abandon us and get to the finish line by yourself if everything went wrong, didn't you? Well, when our plans have been this bad, can you blame me? Yes, I can. Yeah, I can. I am. Thank you, Mouse. I'm sorry, you better be. Just go find, make sure you only run this turn. I will, I swear. You are gonna lie. You're lying to my face. And I'll find that trinket for you too. Okay, that one I can't blame you for. If you can't find it, I don't blame you. With that, Pig ran away from me. God damn it, Pig. She clearly didn't mean to upset me. Really? Did you not? But I got the feeling she wasn't truly that sorry about what she did. Of course not. She was so worried about her own safety that she thought that what she did was necessary, not something to be ashamed of. I was only angrier after that conversation, but I couldn't let that distract me. So did Snake talk to everyone secretly? I need to focus on what was more important. Minor trinkets. Minor trinkets. Minor trinkets. In my search, the only thing I've found was another empty safe. Again, I was walking over a previously trodden path. This was what happened when our teamwork fell apart. What shattered it? Snake did. Was it the announcement that after round 3? Well, it definitely didn't help. But no, it wasn't. Oops. It was only how we handled the aftermath of Sheep's death. Yes, that's true. Sheep's the only one who I can't really blame. I can't blame Ox because Ox stayed to it. Snake is the traitor, I can't blame him. Dog and Dragon didn't have a chance to betray us. Neither did Tiger. So Horse, Rooster, Monkey, and Pig. Even my bias can't save Horse, really. This one I'm kind of ashamed of him. We weren't a group enough of a group, and everything spiraled out of control from there. Monkey and Rooster are still unexplainable. How did they get to their spaces? Because if it was the other way around, if Rooster was 4 and Monkey was 2, that would make more sense. No. Yeah, because Rooster can't use his ability on himself. I checked the time. The round was almost over. I should make my move and hope someone else found a trinket. If that didn't happen, we'll figure something out. I still had to use my ability. I should use it on Snake, right? But what if I used it on Ox? I could get it far ahead. But Snake couldn't use his ability. Was it the right just bring everyone back together to stick to the plan? Wasn't that a sucker's game? Could I really trust the thing that would work out? If I rushed forward, then maybe on my own. I had a really bad feeling about just blindly sticking to the plan. Everything that happened, all the conversations I had heard, replayed in the back of my mind. I think, yeah, it's Snake. Anyway, and Doing so, I came to the realization how to survive. So then, this is right? Who should I hitch a ride on? Ox. I'm going to save it here because I think Snake would kill us if we don't. I'm going to go Ox. I didn't make this choice because I wanted to betray anyone. I made this choice because I realized what I was dealing with. My conversation with Ox, my conversation with Pig, and my conversation with Snake. All these put together, I realized what was really happening, and I knew how to stop it. I walked to the cafeteria with confidence. Most everyone was grouped to the center, though once again I noticed Snake was making a move on the chessboard. Everybody. Mouse. Did you find a man trinket? I was worried about the tone of the question no one else has. So we all failed, huh? Hey, we don't need to worry. After Snake brings things together, we can search as a group. We still have time. I'm not so sure about that. Yep, you're right to not be. You're right to be skeptical, horse. Let's keep things optimistic, okay? We can't give up hope. For now, let's turn our attention to the screen. I believe the route is about to commence. Snake was right. The speakers kicked in moments later. Round 9 has ended. Now let's see how the race progressed. The rat has used Sneaky Ride on Ox. The Ox has used Stampede to go to the 14th place. Thanks to Sneaky Ride, the rat has also moved those 5 spaces. Tiger has failed to move. The bunny has used Hop and moved 4 spaces. Dragon has failed to make a move. Snake has used Serpentine. The Serpentine has failed. The snake does not move. The horse has run 1 space. The sheep did not move. The monkey has run 1 space. The rooster has run 1 space. The dogs failed to move. And the pig has used run. Round 10. Do your best and choose wisely. So I'm the betrayer. Okay. As expected, I was immediately faced with outrage. Mouse, what the hell's this? Hey, I thought we were going to let Snake do the Serpentine thing and fall back in line. Why'd you change your mind, Mouse? Because if I hadn't, we'd all be dead. Isn't that right, Snake? What? Oh my, what a claim. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Mouse. Would you care to elaborate on that? Breathe. I was the leader of our mock trial team. I just had to debate. I had this. Oh, I'll elaborate, right? Alright. In fact, I'm going to give you a beautiful grand finale, if just like you wanted. Right here, right now. I'm going to expose everything about the stupid race. Well, please, go ahead. I'm quite curious about what you mean. Let's start with explaining why you decided not to follow the plan. Right, your plan. I must say, it's awfully convenient that everyone after you in the order decided started freaking out just like that. I heard from Pig that she did it because you made her afraid of the possibility that the traitor would be able to rush to the end of the race. Oh, Pig, you blamed me for your defection. She didn't. She just explained herself. No, she didn't. She simply said that she grew more worried after talking to you. I wonder, did anyone else have a similar experience? Now that you mention it, Snake did pop by when Monkey and I were searching together and said some scary things. Not that I was scared, of course, but perhaps he was deliberately priming us to betray the group. He talked with me too. Interesting. Didn't tell me to start sprinting, but I chose to after our conversation. Interesting pattern there, Snake. Care to comment? Well, I suppose when you frame it like that, you could construe ill content. However, I was merely talking to everyone I came across as I searched the school. I was worried about what might happen if the person with the ambitious personality started acting out, and I shared those fears with my teammates. In truth, I was also gauging their reaction to see if I could figure out who it was. But still, it's a stretch to start and pin the blame on me for the actions they took because they were scared. Besides, I questioned the point of all the work just to bring everybody back to the same space. You're right, that's a lot of work. It doesn't really make sense to me. So then we're in agreement. No, not really. Because It does actually make sense if you weren't trying to bring everyone back to the same square. Sure, that's what you said your ability does. But you've pointed out people can lie about their abilities pretty freely. Oh, I see what you're getting at. Then why? That's why you said everyone would be dead. Let me see. If I... let me guess. He moves forward. It's like pigs. Where he moves forward based on everyone. Yeah. Like sort of like a leap. He does the leapfrogging basically. Let me see. Let me see if I can guess what you're about to say. The only reason someone would go through the trouble would to try and survive. My ability must let me instantly finish the line if everyone besides me is on a separate space. That's why I deliberately goaded people after me to break formation. Then I came to the people before me with the clue into a false plan. There's certainly amount of sense to your story, but unfortunately a story without evidence would be categorized as fiction. Unless, of course, you have some evidence about my ability's true nature. I don't have evidence per se, but I have something to bring up. It is a tremendously difficult task to get everyone in a difficult space. With such a high skilled requirement, it would make sense for the reward to be something stronger than everybody goes the same space and you get a 5-space lead. That's your reasoning? Oh, so I hate to say it, Brown has never been the best when it comes to the game balance. Surely you can look at the other abilities and see how wildly uneven in terms of strength they are. Why can the same not be said for me? Sure, some abilities might be stronger than others, but your ability is miles weaker than anyone else's. Perhaps he simply has a grudge against me. Mouse, that can't be it, can it? You ruined our chance at teamwork due to suspicions built on such a slim evidence. Hold on, there's more. Proof Snake really wants to separate animals on different spaces. Further proof evidence lied about his ability. Okay, Let's go with, the different spaces, because Rooster and Monkey don't make sense. What if I could prove your desperation to separate us into spaces was beyond reasonable? Prove that the ability really was what you said. You have no good excuse in acting the way you did. Seeing as I haven't once acted as to separate us, I'm curious in how you would go about doing that. Please proceed. It was because I guess the details at the very top is a really difficult thing, having us land in 11 different spaces, especially since we were working as a group for so long. You barely did it where there was 7 of us active. You had no chance, but when there was 11 of us. Mouse, you're not about to say that what I think you are you? Damn right I am. Snake, I'm accusing you of the origami cat killings. And I believe your motive was to separate the rest of us into separate squares by the force if needed. Furthermore, the reason you needed to do this was because your ability allowed you to instantly get to the finish line if we were all separated. And if you wanted to get to the finish line before us, you'd have to have the ambitious personality type. For real? No way. There's no way that's true, right? Mouse, you're saying that this person behind those killings? Oh, he's not gonna be happy that Snake killed Cheap. That's exactly what I'm saying. Oh my. Mouse, I'm afraid that I may have indulged your delusions a bit too long. I know you're searching for a neat answer to a difficult problem, but you can't really believe I murdered 3 people, do you? No. You didn't, you got a dragon to help you. I believe you murdered those 4 people. Well then. I suppose I have no choice but to listen to what you try and prove it. Frankly, I'm impressed that you even managed to tell a story that halfway mile made sense. But I am intrigued as to what you'll try. So go on then. Mouse, are you sure about this? I mean, we are playing a defense attorney student playing a prosecutor's role. Trust me, I'm certain. I guess I'll start at how I started suspecting you as the killer in the first place, because poison. Ox told me to think about who would commit these murders in this way. When I started thinking like that, I realized something about these murders. There was an awful beauty in these murders. What? The bodies were unmarred, killed without much injury, killed almost instantly. Each time a body was found, there was an origami cat nearby, and each time they would be found in some bizarre state. I can almost picture it now. In a demonic school, the cat moved in the mist and peacefully killed us in impossible ways. Wouldn't you say there's something poetic in these murders? Poetic? I don't get what you're referring to, because when we first came here, he referred to this kidnapping as poetry. Murder is murder. There's nothing beautiful to be found in it. Perhaps, but think of it this way. Even if you dislike poetry, would you rather read a good poetry than bad one? No? That's exactly the same quote we used on him. Oh, see, and he realizes it. You're right, Snake. That's what I'm saying is ridiculous. But deep down you agree with what I've been saying, don't you? I find it preposterous leap to suspect me over something like that. These murders were all bloodless simply because messy murders would leave more evidence, like blood on the clothes. The locked rooms set up were meant to sow doubt and put us in a state of paranoia where we couldn't think straight. Those were likely all motives as well, but this wasn't the only way to solve those problems. At your core, you're an idealist. If you had to kill, some part of your subconscious wanted it to be seemingly elegant method. Unharmed bodies, unsolvable mysteries, a calm and methodical battle of wits. No vicious and no reprehensible murder. If Horse were to kill us all, he'd just start swinging a knife without restraint. True, has happened. We died 3 out of 4 times. If Bunny wanted to kill us, he'd grab a pistol and ambush us one by one. That hasn't happened yet, but he has done it using social situations. If Rooster wanted to kill us, he'd hit someone over the head with a bat and run. Technically true, he did kill us and run, but he didn't use a bat, he used a knife. But if you wanted to kill us, you'd poison us and trickery. Plus, you're obviously the one who can fold an origami cat. As we told you, I do not possess such skills. I respectfully disagree. Do you have any of the substance for your accusations? Theorize about motives all you want, but the fact that of the matter is these murders were, you can call them bizarre, impossible situations. Take Sheep's death, for instance. How on earth would I do something like that? You all saw the room. It was impossible to enter unless you had the key. One key was on Tiger, and the other one was inside the room. The crime is impossible for me to commit. And with that, your accusation crumbles. Impossible, you say? That may be the case if everyone was, if we believed it. But that may be the case if everything was as we believed it to be. However, we made one false assumption. Sheep died before Dragon discovered the body. The chain lock prevented the entry from the room. Sheep died before Dragon discovered the body. Hold on. If Sheep, yes, Sheep died after Dragon discovered the body, okay. That one. I'm going to save because I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Number 8. We're getting pretty far on this in saves. Sheep died. Okay. We thought Sheep died before you and Dragon came across her body laying in the limp in the room. Of course we'd think that. Of course you would. It's correct. No, it's not. She wasn't killed until after Dragon left the room. No, so that's impossible. Why would she be lying if she wasn't dead? And if she was alive, how does that change anything? Here's how it happened. She was very suggestible girl. Snake is a very convincing man. 2 true statements, and they both play well into their characters. A number of scenarios could have taken place, but let's say Snake approached Sheep, claiming to be concerned about Tiger having a key. Snake questioned if she could be trusted. Sheep advocated for Tiger, so Snake proposed that they put it to the test. Sheep was to go into the room and pretend she was dead. Snake would then bring someone in, and they would see the body together. Snake would then tell the other person to go get Tiger. If Tiger really just gave the key to this other person without a question, she would be deemed too guilty to keep the key. However, if she went along with the other person, she would be fine. An extreme way of testing her, to be sure, but Snake is quite persuasive, and Sheep is easily pushed around. So Sheep goes along with the plan, and Snake brings Dragon into the room. He makes sure Dragon checks both the chain on the window. After Dragon runs away, Snake uses the speaker to tell Sheep to unlock the door and come out. After all, they wouldn't want to scare the others for too long, so they went and got back. They needed to see Sheep alive and well. Sheep complied and unlocked the chain. However, earlier the two were preparing this test. Snake pocketed the poison. As soon as Snake got the chance, he sunk the poison fangs into Sheep and pushed her back down the way she lay before. Snake relocked the chain and dropped the key in Sheep's pocket. Then he unlocks the window and returns to the immediate room through there. He quickly shuts the window and acts casual. We run in after that, and he doesn't have that much time, so the timing of all this is likely quite tight. Dragon insists Tiger quickly unlocks the chain, and everybody bursts into the room. Dragon is in front of Tiger and Tiger and myself behind her, and you in the rear. As we were all in panic over Sheep's death, you quickly and certainly relock the window from the inside. And with that, the impossible murder has occurred. Whoa! Thanks, Rooster. That was needed. Mouse, that was incredible. Yes, indeed, but a truly logical explanation you provided. I commend you. I was dubious on how you go about it, but you pulled it off. You have successfully strung together a scenario in which I could have killed Sheep. Spectacularly done. Thank you. I say with the sincerity that it was a most impressive effort. However, I'm afraid that it simply isn't true. While I grant you that this is a completely possible scenario, I must ask you to provide evidence toward your claim. Evidence? How else do you explain that murder? How else? I could think of a murder a number of ways. Perhaps Tiger was the murderer. She might not have had a clear motive, but the killers rarely do. Or perhaps Dragon... yes, there was an origami cat at her crime scene, but perhaps she made it in advance and prepared to kill someone. But then maybe the tables were turned on her, and her killer used the previously prepared calling card against her. That would explain why there was no cat near Tiger, yes? Perhaps Brian decided to interfere with the game and commit some murders himself. I was kind of hoping that Brian showed up. There was no rules against it. Maybe Bunny lied and there was 3 keys to the chain. Yeah, it's also possible as well, but Bunny was with me when Tiger died, so... Perhaps the poison wasn't actually the instant acting one stolen, but a slower acting chemical combination concocted in the science lab, and Sheep locked the chain and died on her own. Sheep did not suicide. We can all make up stories, Mouse, but that won't make them true. Fine, let's move on then. We already discussed how the second murder took place. Your killing intent slithered through the wire. Through the door into Dog's hand. You tried to divert suspicion by solving it with me, but you threw that such a simple method would be cracked easily. You even pretended to comfort me while avoiding the circle of accusations that the others were making to each other. All of my actions, Bayesian or not, somehow devilish in your world, Mouse. Now we can look at Dragon's death. And again, we reach an impossible scenario. I'm eager to see how you write me as the killer here. That's to be simple. There was only one answer in the mysteries all along. Didn't lock the room. Snade made it locked from the inside the room. You stacked the tower from inside the room. That would be presumptuous, yes? Then you hid inside the room waiting for someone to discover the body. This sort of thing is easily a risky gamble. With everyone so scattered around, it actually made much a dangerous play at all. I hid in the room. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but you did not look around the place when you entered. We did. That I did. And you didn't see anyone, right? I did not. Then where on earth could I have hidden? There aren't many places to hide. There aren't, but there is one place. The closet. The closet? Mouse, all the closets in the school have been locked. Hey, maybe Snake found the key to a closet somewhere. Is that what you believe, Mouse? No, I don't. I don't. I doubt there's something like that around. Pretty sure the closet was never intended to have anything to do with the game. They were locked with keys the teachers would have, which is why Snake would have been able to hide there. Come again? Don't play dumb with me. You're actually a teacher at the school, aren't you? Goodness. Now this is certainly an interesting accusation. Well, I mean, how else would he know a teacher's name? I do believe I've said this before, but I'm an artist. You might also be that, but you're definitely a teacher here. How did you come to that conclusion? Earlier, when we were talking about the Scene Dragon Didact, you called it Mr. Golliday's classroom. An odd way of referring it to it, wouldn't you say? I'd sooner call it an accurate one. How would you know whose classroom it was? As I said, it was written on the whiteboard. But why would you remember it when the room room with a murder victim? My memory isn't quite etiquette. Yeah. Eidetic, sorry. But it was close. Even still, that's not how you refer to this room if you had no idea who Mr. Golliday was. No one else could call it that. You said the classroom Dragon died in, like normal people. I would consider my speech a bit more eloquent than normal people. It's true, he is a bit, yeah. That's not all the evidence I have. You recognize Brian due to his butterfly tattoo, right? Yes, I believe Monkey did as well. That makes sense why Monkey would recognize it. She's his therapist. What doesn't make sense is why you would recognize it. By your own admission, you have no real connection to the case. You were just some random witness. So how would you know immediately that the son of the man who was executed based on your testimony years ago had a butterfly tattoo there? Did you recognize the artistry of the tattoo? It is actually done by a friend of mine. When she showed off some of her work, I thought I recognized the boy who got the butterfly tattoo. Out of curiosity, I asked about him, and I realized who he was. There's a fairly notable notable memory, and hence I would identify him quickly. What a lovely story! Why did none of this come out sooner when we first talked about it? Why would it? No one asked, and I hardly thought it relevant contribution to the discussion at the time. Is it not because you had him as a student? Could that teacher-student relationship have been more to do with why you were chosen than your prior testimony? There are plenty of people here that seemingly weak reasons. Are they all part of the teaching staff too? There's more. Throughout the day, there have been plenty of moments where you have been more familiar with the school than you should have been. Again, all hearsay. You're a teacher, and you've got the master key to the closet. After all, setting all the books, you slunk away and hid in one spot, waiting for more prey. Suppose that for a second you are correct. Then how would you explain Tiger's murder? Will you blame me for that one too? Damn right I will. Admittedly, changing up your pattern to throw me off for a bit. Well, that's just it, isn't it? A change in pattern. What happened? Were you out of ideas of the locked room mysteries? Or did you want to shake things up to confuse people? I believe those are both questions you're supposed to be answering now, which we will. Here's another one to ponder. How on earth did I manage to kill Tiger? Certainly such a task is beyond my capabilities, wouldn't you think? Tiger's strong, but she's not a mole. You were able to easily strangle her using one simple thing. The crime scene. No. The tablet. The poison. I have no idea. She wouldn't have seen she couldn't see the details of the tablet. So I'm gonna say the crime scene. I think. She didn't have any. Yeah. Took advantage of the crime scene to strangle her. Crime scene, you say? That's a certainly new one. So obviously she was strangled with a wire. Perhaps you found one in the classroom and used it for your making for sculptures. Perhaps. But instead of wrapping it around Tiger's neck, you formed a noose around the wire. You formed a noose with that wire, and you held the neck of that noose in your hand and dropped the rest down through one of the railings on top of the tower. When Tiger walked by, you distracted her somehow and managed to turn her around. All you had to do was get the noose around her neck, and that was crucial. You think I have the strength to strangle her while she fought back? How highly you think of me. You didn't have the strength, you had the weight. So you jumped over. Okay, so he wrapped it around her neck and jumped down. As soon as the noose was around her neck, you jumped over the railing and gripped onto the wire. Your weight suddenly slammed Tiger's neck to the ground, and your entire weight pulled against the throat of her neck, leaning against the railing. So you could probably lift your weight. She could probably lift your weight, but at the angle of having what happened to her so suddenly, there's nothing she could do to fight back. Like a cobra, you rubbed your weight around her neck and strangled her tightly. You were able to choke her out. You were able to choke out someone who was 3 times stronger than you and 4 times the fighter. What a lovely creativity on display. Truly, Mouse. If you were to murder us all, I would never be able to catch you. That's a lie. But here's the moment of truth. Did your words convince anyone other than yourself? Let's find out. How about it, people? Do you think her story is credible? There's some weird parts here and there, but everything adds up. I don't know what else could have happened. I was convinced as soon as you accused him of being a teacher here. I too thought it was strange he referred to certain things. Now that I have an explanation, I called him being a killer from the start. That's a lie, Rooster. Shut up. How can a creep like this not be a murderer? Yeah, it's definitely Snake. Well, let's see what happens. See if he's punished in the next time. Because this crackdown of the details was fun. So I hope I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for stopping by. Goodbye.